It looked like your typical model kit, a glossy box art, World War II subject matter, and the promise of hours at the bench building, painting, and weathering. But in 2018, this kit actually got pulled off the shelves and banned after just a few weeks on the market. This is the story of the Revell Haunebu II, a 1/72nd scale model that mixed UFO lore, World War II German wonder weapon myths, and some questionable corporate decision-making to make for one of the biggest controversies in scale modeling history. So, was it a conspiracy, a misunderstanding, or just a marketing blunder of cosmic proportions? Today, we're going to take a ride in a scale replica German flying saucer from World War II, or at least that's what it was portrayed as at the time. Let's start with what this actually was. In 2018, Revell, the well-known German model-making company, released a 1/72nd scale kit of something called the Haunebu II. Their version of the kit actually originated with a Korean company called Hand and Head in 2014, though that model was just presented as a straight-up flying saucer without any kind of German World War II connection to it. It looked like a flying saucer out of a 1950s B movie. However, the box claimed it was a German flying saucer developed under top secret programs during the Second World War, and the kit even came with Luftwaffe-style markings on it. Where Revell really screwed up was how they portrayed this thing in the description, saying that it was supposedly a prototype craft that actually flew in 1943, reaching speeds of up to 6,000 kilometers per hour, and, get this, that it was capable of space travel. It sounds like some kind of conspiracy theory, doesn't it? Well, it does, and therein lies the problem. As you might have guessed, the Haunebu wasn't real. It's part of a long-running pseudo-history that claims the Germans in World War II built disc-shaped UFOs using advanced alien technology. This myth popped up after World War II and spread throughout the conspiracy theory world, popping up in books, video games, even movies. It's a mix of Cold War paranoia, UFO mania, and neo-Nazi propaganda, because some versions do actually try to glorify Germany's technological genius during the war. Serious historians have completely debunked these stories, kind of like Hitler escaping to Argentina after the war. There's zero evidence of any Third Reich flying saucer project, and the supposed photos are all fakes or fabrications made later on down the line. But Revell's kit didn't actually make that clear. On the box and in the description, it read like this thing was historical fact, and that's where things got messy. When the model came out in 2018, several children's watchdog groups in Germany, as well as some military history museums, complained that Revell was promoting a fake history to children. They argued that the kit blurred the line between fantasy and fact, and worse, could play into extremist narratives that try to paint World War II Germany as having a secret, almost superhuman technology. Obviously they didn't. German media picked up the story right away, and it quickly snowballed from there. Within weeks, Revell pulled the kit from store shelves and issued a public apology, acknowledging their mistake in not pointing out that the flying saucer was in fact fictional and promising to tighten their historical vetting process for future releases. Now you might be wondering, there are plenty of model kits that portray sci-fi subject matter or what-if designs. So why did this one cause such an uproar? Well, it's all about the context. In Germany, organizations and symbols associated with the Nazi Party are banned. This is to help prevent the spread of hate speech and a resurgence of that party that caused so much monumental, catastrophic damage to the world in the 1930s and 40s. Mixing UFO myths with actual World War II imagery can unintentionally echo these dangerous conspiracy theories that still float around in relation to the end of the war. So when a respected company like Revell markets that story as history, it can help lend credibility to those myths, credibility that those myths don't deserve. In other words, it wasn't just a weird subject. It accidentally crossed a thin line between modeling fantasy and historical revisionism. Okay, have you heard of the Streisand effect? Basically, it's shorthand for how banning or censoring something just makes it more infamous. Needless to say, pulling this model off the shelves didn't really make the controversy go away. And this was 2018, right as the internet and social media was really peaking in its ability to make controversy out of everything. The recall turned Revell's Haunebu II into an instant collector's item, and at the time, people were paying top dollar to get a kit that had been banned from store shelves. Now today, 7 years after the fact, the controversy has certainly died down a little bit, and you can still find the kit on eBay, but you will pay about twice as much as you would for a normal kit. Just further proof that controversy sells. I should also point out that Squadron Models released its version of the Haunebu right around the same time as Revell and recently re-released it in 2022. It's possible, even likely, that all the hubbub could have been avoided if Revell hadn't made the mistake of making it sound like the World War II German flying saucer was something that really existed. But they didn't, and for a brief moment there, our little hobby was engulfed in some mainstream controversy. And that, my friends, is the story of Revell's Haunebu II kit. So what do you think? Most controversial kit ever? Unforced error by Revell? Bad PR move? A great big nothing burger? All of the above? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you've ever built this thing or you own one, I'd love to see a photo of it. My name's Ryan. You're watching Sprugoo. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button for lots more modeling content coming up down the road.